to today's video. Those of you that are new to my channel, hi, my name is Maria, and today I'm going to be trying out the new Bobbi Brown Luxe Metal Rose palette. And I haven't opened her up yet or done any swatches or anything like that. I got it in the mail about 2 or 3 days ago. I haven't used Bobbi Brown for quite a long time. Some years ago I used a mascara, the odd eyeshadow. I think I still have a couple of the lipsticks, and I have used some of the skincare, which I really loved. But when I saw the release of this new palette, I just thought the colours were absolutely gorgeous. The neutrals and the pink with the roses, I just thought it would be really, really stunning. So that's why I thought I would order it. And let's take a look inside and see what she's like. And this is the palette. It's just really, really pretty, very luxe packaging. And inside here are the shadows. Really pretty, and I haven't taken off the protective tape on the inside of the mirror yet, so I'll do that now. So there's the 8 shadows in the palette, and they're described as soft to shimmering hues, and the formula is described as a creamy matte and metallic gelée formulas. So I'm going to do some swatches on my arm. So this is the top row, and the first one is Calla Lily. Then we have Electric Flora. Then there is this one here is Velvet Bloom, and the last one is called Metal Rose. And the last 4 is Honey Blush. Then we've got Deep Bloom, and then Bronze Petal, and then Pink Blossom. So that's the 8 shades, and when I was swatching them on my arm, they really felt creamy and buttery, and the formulas that are described as the gelée formula really are very bouncy and just super creamy. They're really, really gorgeous. These colours of the neutrals, pinks, the rose and the gold make up just such a beautiful colour story, and I think this is a great everyday palette. So I'm going to start with my Sonia G Super Blender and go into this lightest shade here, the one that's called Calla Lily, and put that all over my lids. You may not be able to see much, but I think it'll be a really lovely base shade. There is a little bit of kick up in the pan, but nothing too major.
I wouldn't call it polite. You couldn't show me one thing that's all black or all white. I didn't come here to worry.
Then I'm going to take my Rephr number 15 brush and go into Pink Blossom and start laying down a bit more colour. You get a lot of payoff on the brush. You can see the pigment on there.
I didn't come here to worry. I didn't come here to care. But the look in your eyes is the look in my eyes. Tonight, I'm not worried about the price. I feel good, I look nice. Tonight.
I am really loving these colours so far. They are super pretty, and it is just blending like a dream. Really beautiful formula so far that I've tried. Now I'm going to take the Rephr number 14 brush and go into Velvet Bloom.
Sometimes I feel like looking away. Sometimes I see what I want to see. Sometimes I see how she could.
And then using the Rephr number 1 brush, I'm going to go into the colour Deep Bloom and put that on the outer corner of my eye, and I'm also going to use the same dark colour to line under my eyes as well. You'll often see in my videos where I put eyeshadow on, I always go for a dark colour on the outer corner. And one, it's because I like the look of it, and two, especially when you are more mature, your eyelids start and the eye area up here starts drooping, and by adding a deeper colour up here and lifting it up, it can give the illusion of just lifting your eye slightly, and that's the reason why I often go for a darker colour there.
Sometimes I feel like looking away. Sometimes I see what I want to see. Sometimes I see how I wish it could be. And I want to scream. Watch the world hurt, this drunken dream, this play on words, this magazine come as you are.
And the Rephr number 3 brush to line under my eyes using that same deeper shade.
Tonight, 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 I'm not worried about the price. I feel good on the night. Tonight, 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 I didn't come here.
So I'm going to take the Sonia G Builder Pro brush and go into one of the metallic shades here, and this one is called Electric Flora. I may have to use a finger to put it on, but I'm going to try with the brush first.
Tonight, tonight, tonight.
That formula is really, really beautiful, and the colours I think are really, really stunning. But I am going to try and build it a little bit more and just see if using my finger works a little bit better. So I'm just going into that same shade, Electric Flora. And that does give a bit more of a pop to the colour. But it's really, really beautiful. So I'm going to use the shade down here, the lightest one, Honey Blush, and just put a bit of highlight on the inner corner of my eyes. And I just want to line my upper lash line using the deepest colour in this palette, that deep bloom colour. So I'm going to take my Hourglass number 10 brush to do that.
Tonight, tonight, tonight.
The darkest colour, the deep bloom, worked really well as an eyeliner for my eyes, so I won't need to reach for any other eyeliner, which is really, really great. I love it when a palette has a deeper colour that's rich and dark enough to use as an eyeliner, and I don't need to use one separately. So now I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back to give my final thoughts on this palette. And here is the completed look. And aside from this shocking foundation that I'm actually reviewing today as well, and that video will come out after this one, the eyeshadow itself is really, really pretty. I think the colours are just so feminine and soft looking, and yet also give a beautiful pop of colour. It's certainly a lot different from the Bobbi Brown that I tried a few years ago when I had a couple of different eyeshadow colours. They were in mattes, they weren't metallics like these ones were today, but this formula is definitely better. So whatever they've done, it's working. They blended absolutely beautifully and they build really well. From the first colour that I put down to the very last one, they blended really beautifully over each other as well. And with more mature skin on my eyelids, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to blend certain eyeshadows. I didn't have any difficulty with this. I think overall this is a really good palette and a really lovely staple palette to have for your eyeshadows as well. I still hear some people saying, oh, enough of the pinks, But pinks are really, really lovely, and a lot of people gravitate towards the pinks, roses and browns, and that's because they're really wearable colours and they're just really great everyday shades. But this is also a look I would wear out in the evening. I just think they are just really stunning. I am really impressed with this palette. So this is definitely a palette that I will be reaching for again. There have been a few that I've bought that I've put on my desk that sits to the left of me here, and I haven't really used them again, but this is one that I will reach for again, just like some of the other favorite eyeshadow palettes that I have. And overall, just a really, really beautiful palette. I'm really pleased. I chose to buy Bobbi Brown again after having a break from this brand for at least probably about 2 or 3 years. And I'm really looking forward to see what else Bobbi Brown releases with their upcoming eyeshadow palettes. Very impressed with this one, and a gorgeous colour story that I think a lot of people will really, really like. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.